What does it mean to truly be a parent?
I have a very unpopular opinion on that one.
Let's hear it.
So, as far as like being a parent, I think most parents out there really believe that it's their job for their kid to like them or for their kid to be their friend.
Mm-hmm.
I hope my daughter is my friend, and she isn't now. I would say that she's my friend. She's my daughter first, my friend second. But I hope that when she's older, she continues to want to be my friend. But to be a parent is, one, you have to provide for them. You ensure that their physical needs are taken care of. Like that is foundation.
Keep them alive.
Fed, watered, keep them alive. Don't let them get hit by a car. Make sure they're safe. But the next step is where it gets tricky, and it's like, do I teach my child what to think? What's right, what's wrong? Do I teach my child, my beliefs? Do I instill those in them? Or do I teach my child how to think so they can make their own decisions and arrive at their own conclusions about the world? Albeit influencing that, we're all going to have influence on that because we have our own beliefs and bias. But if we enable our children to understand the world around them and to really be able to look at something and figure it out on their own, I think we, set them up for greater success because and I've told my daughter this, there's going to come a day that I'm not going to be here. I'm sorry I had to say it that way. You know as well as I do that I'm right in the same boat. Not to the degree that you are, but, in a similar way. But that's just the matter of fact. It's going to happen. Like, that is the one truth that we know about life, is that there will come a day that we no longer can interact with the people that we love. And my job as a parent, from my perspective, is to make my daughter as strongly able to handle whatever this world throws at her before I can't do that. I don't think being a parent ends at 18. A lot of parents are like, oh yeah, I got until you're 18. I have until I'm 18 to like really just like hammer it into you, because after 18 you can just be like, oh, if I'm moving to Mexico. But, ideally, if you've done a good job to that point, I think that you continue that relationship after that. You may not see them as often, you may not hear from them as often, but you can still impart wisdom upon them and, perspective. But for me, that's the biggest thing with being a parent, is teaching them how to handle the world and making sure they don't die while you're doing it.
That was such a good answer. That was such a good answer.
Well, thank you.
I expected. I'm not gonna lie. I expected that answer from you, like an answer like that from
Something
you,
crazy philosophical.
which is why I like talking about these things with you, because we do, like, to a point we share the same like values in that regard. It's being a parent's tough, and finding the balance of everything is definitely the tough part about being a parent. Like, doing the actual parent thing where like you're nurturing, like you're taking care of a kid, you're changing diapers, you're taking them laying them down for a nap, taking them to bed, like make sure they brush their teeth, blah blah. Like, that's the easy part. Like, that is just that's a very easy thing to do.
That's a bit of advice for parents. So I'm gonna hit this with a story. I'm gonna touch on that, and then I'm gonna get back to you. I was on the phone late at night with a guy I work with because we were working to get something done in advance of a deadline.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that his wife is expecting, and it's his first child. And he was saying, I understand that you're going to be up because your kid has somebody over this, soon enough I'm going to have to get used to that. And he was like, is there anything you can tell me about it? And I was like, the day that child comes into your life will be forever changed.
100%.
Because it just shifts you. Like, anybody who knows love before that, your definition of love is redefined as soon as you meet that child.
100%.
It is both the most rewarding thing and the biggest struggle you will ever go through in your life. So that you haven't gotten there yet.
Well, this is where I was going with what I was saying is when you before you even have kids, for people that don't have kids, the thing that people tell you when you tell them that you're expecting and this and that is, oh man, it's so hard, you're gonna have to do this, you're gonna have to do that. Like, they tell you all of this stuff that's just the scariest thing in the world. Like, it's just terrifying. But then you actually have you meet the love of your life, basically. And you hold them for the first time, and you change their diaper for the first time, and you start to get into these things where it's actually not as hard as everybody's saying.
No,
there
that's
are
easy.
the newborn stage for sure is a bit rough. My biggest advice for any people there: don't do it in shifts. That is a terrible idea. Don't ever let anybody talk you into that.
Shifts are horrible.
It's the worst idea we've ever had. Anyway, all of that stuff is the easy part. When the things that you have to do for them, feeding them, changing diapers, potty training, all of that stuff is relatively easy. There's little hiccups here and there, but all of that stuff is actually relatively easy. It's when you get to the age where they are asking questions or they're pulling information from things that they see and they're, recreating that, or they're repeating things that they hear, or they're, it's when they start to have
fucking tired.
It's when they have a little their little brain is just you can see it when you tell them something and you watch them and they're you can tell that they're really trying to dissect what you just said. That's when it gets hard. When you have to do the real parenting.
My boy, it gets worse.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Yeah, so
I
when
am
you get,
well aware.
When you get into the ages where ADHD starts to become prevalent, if that's in a thing for your child, that's a struggle.
And have you seen my child? It's already
there.
Well,
I'm not a doctor, but
dude, we were on the couch last night, right before bedtime. Okay, me and Alicia were watching TV. Lydia was sitting next to us, and she was watching her iPad before bed. She could sit still for maybe a fraction of a second.
My boy.
And
that's the age right now.
And I was just she just would sit and then rich and then rich around and then rich again, and I'm just hey, can you just sit still, please?
Yep. But to that point, like you said, you specifically said brush your teeth, which I find interesting because that's terribly important. You only get one set of teeth. However, after nearly 12 years of this crap, if there's one night that your 3-year-old is just fighting and fighting and does not want to brush their teeth, at the end of the day, letting that battle go is not going to be the end of the world.
That is my next little parenting tip. Pick your battles. Pick your battles. Choose your battles. Because that is a very, very important thing. I'll give you the biggest example that I could ever give anybody. And I tell everybody this who I meet that are like, new parents or are going to be new parents at some point. We were Christmas shopping when Lydia was, I believe, probably 2.5, probably like about 2.5, because she could walk. So we were in Target. Lydia, we had Lydia walking around because we wanted her to get used to walking around, and like she was still like she was walking well, but like doppy kid, 2.5. So we were like, we want her to walk around, and we want to get used to having to chase after a kid. So we were like, let's let her walk around. Whatever. We're trying to get some Christmas shopping done.
Pause. If you put your children on a leash,
You are the
need
worst.
fucking therapy.
You are the worst kind of person.
stop. It's not a good idea. It's not a dog.
So we're in
Damn
Target.
it.
Lydia's running around. We're chasing after her constantly. We get to a point where we're like, okay, that's enough of that. We pick Lydia up. We put her in the cart.
Oh, that didn't work.
We put her in the cart. She's
Screaming.
throwing a tantrum.
Yep.
We're exhausted.
What do you
It's the
expect?
ho-
You
it's
took
the-
her freedom away.
It's the
You
holiday.
took her damn freedom away.
It's the holiday season.
Dude, you took her freedom away.
We're tired. So I'm like, you know what? Here. Gave her the phone with little
Oh, God.
cartoons on it. And I said, we're getting this shopping done, and we are just moving past this.
There's another lesson in this. I don't know
So-
if you're going to touch on it or not.
We got our shopping done very easily after that. I was walking past a lady, and she looked at my daughter, who was watching probably Mickey Mouse's Funhouse or Clubhouse or whatever it was,
Uh-huh.
and she gave me the death stare. And I looked at that lady, and in my brain, I said, not today. You do not want to go there with me today. Didn't say anything to her, just continued on through my night, got everything done that I needed to get done, came home, boom, done. Now,
Was that the beginning of... Okay.
before
I'm going to go back to my screen.
before, yeah, you don't have any room to talk. You fuck the whole podcast. You're over here fucking texting God knows who, because you
Dude, yo.
can't. Your attention span is
We'll talk about
your
that
attention.
later.
Your attention span is about as
I,
it's
no,
worse than my daughter's.
Here's the problem. I can do multiple things at once. I can listen to you, look at this, type.
Yeah.
I could probably cook an omelet.
Well, guess what,
with
Andy? It doesn't look very professional when
It
you're
does-
sitting here looking down at your phone. Okay? All right? Okay?
I'm not looking down. I can wait. Fine.
So before I actually became a parent, we were on the whole thing of like, we're not going to be those people who toss a screen at our kid, yada yada. Like we were there.
Okay.
So then the reality sets in of like, you're now in the thick of it. Are you going to choose your sanity, or are you going to give your kid a little bit of screen time so that you can just take a break?
So here's the thing. I had my tirade about kids in YouTube a couple episodes back.
Yep.
I am actually in support of children being exposed to technology, at the earliest of ages. Because if it is simply a mobile TV, you're going to expose them to TV.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all it is to them, that's okay. Also, our children are going to grow up in a world where technology runs it. Like, it's overwhelmingly that.
Yeah.
Do you really want them to be the person at 22 years old that's like, hey, how do you open a new document in Microsoft Word? No, you don't. You need to make them familiar with it for the sake of their well-being after they are out of your house.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean that I think you should just give a 2-year-old an iPhone and let them have free reign with it? Yeah, no.
Well,
and you didn't. You put on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
yeah, I put something on for them. Yeah, I don't think she could have navigated if she wanted.
Parents have been using television to occupy their children since the damn TV became a thing. It's not a problem.
Yes,
It requires limitation, yes,
that's
for developing minds.
that's my thing. Is like, there's definitely, you definitely have to draw the line because, you know, there'll be nights because like we let her pick up the iPad when she wants to watch it and whatnot. We don't really have those like limitations, but we will notice like, all right, that's enough of that. Like, let's do something here. Let's play with your toys, play with your Barbies. Let's like go outside. Let's do something. Like we've been looking at that long enough, and she has no problem with it.
Did you do Baby Einstein?
So we had those, and she watched
But
a
you
couple.
didn't.
She
Okay.
watched a couple of them, but I'm gonna be honest. When the things she would watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. She watched Blue's Clues. She watched Cocomelon, and she watched some like other like sing along like the sing along
Yo Gabba
educational
Gabba?
stuff. No, it was just like
Yo
random.
Gabba Gabba is amazing. They should never have ended that.
We would watch some like other random stuff, but
Ruby.
she and then like that grew like into, you know, Bluey and stuff like that now.
Hard pass.
Bro,
Nope.
Bluey is. Have you ever watched Bluey?
Yep. Hang the damn dog. I said it.
Dude, of all people, I thought you would be the one that'd be like 100%.
Dude, my daughter at 11 just started watching Bluey, and I'm like, the hell is going on? No, not in this house. How you going to watch High School Musical and Bluey back to back? The hell's wrong with you?
I would rather watch Bluey than High School Musical.
Me too, because, that's the other thing. So High School Musical, the series.
Wait, there's a series?
Yes, and it is nothing but propaganda. That is straight Disney shitting down your throat to advance the woke agenda. I'm sorry, it's true. There are not that many gay kids in one class.
Oh.
Ever.
Okay, yeah, I can...
I've been through high school.
Well, times were a little different then.
Yo,
but
if they were gay then, they're gay now. They may not have been that openly gay, but dude, no. There's no way in a class of 30 kids you have 15 gay kids. The proportions are not like that. There are statistics on this shit that support my statement here.
Okay, Andy.
I am tired of... no.
Move on. Next. Next.
I love the fact that people have freedom, but I don't
They
think
do.
you
I
can't-
will give you the benefit of the doubt. They do push it really hard on TV nowadays.
Right, and that is creating a false pretense for the kids and teenagers who watch that show. They look up to that. They
I will.
see it
I will
as-
give you that.
We
will
can't
give you
do this. We can't like build this idea for kids.
You have to do it in a way that feels natural. Like, if you want to have it on a TV show or you want to have it in a movie,
Hey, whoa,
Do-
careful how you say that.
do it in a way
Don't use the M word.
that feels
No, don't.
natural.
I tried. We're toast. We're done.
Because they do, like, dude, it's insane to me how much they make it to where, like, it comes on the TV and they say it and you're like, really? You put it in, you really had to put that there? Why? What was the point?
Apparently there's a scene in that where there's these
Doesn't matter.
two boys.
Let's get on to the point here. Bluey is fantastic. And
Get the fuck out.
Dude, it's actually so. Dude, there are episodes that legitimately like get me in my feels. Dude, there was an episode where the dad was getting a new job, and they would have to move, and one kid, one of the dogs, Bingo, was really excited, and then Bluey was really sad because he would have to leave all of the memories at his house. And then the parents had to see like Bluey be sad and have to be like, oh, like I don't want to leave, like we did this here and this here, and then it makes them remember all the things, all the memories that they have there and stuff like that. And they were like, well, yeah, like we don't want to leave either. And it was very, very touching, very, very touching.
Can dogs talk?
I'm not even getting into that argument with you. So, back to
When you have to explain to your daughter why dogs can't talk, come find me. It's not an easy conversation.
I hate you.
Why can't dogs talk?
I hate you so much.
Because their vocal cords aren't built that way.
I hate
What
you.
vocal cord?
So, back to being a parent. Finding the balance of pushing your stuff on, like your beliefs and your stuff onto your kids and letting them figure it out on their own. There's a balance to that. There needs to be a healthy balance, because if you go too far in one direction, it ends poorly for you.
Yeah.
Because you have to let them decide for themselves, and you have to give them that freedom. If you give them that freedom, then you instill those beliefs of like they can become their own person.
Well,
and you are okay with that. But if you push too hard of being like, no, you need to be like this and you need to believe this, and then they're just going to take the complete opposite and just do it out of spite.
Exactly. Kids are notorious for doing exactly the opposite of what you tell them if they don't understand it and agree with it. If you can manage to get them to understand everything behind that premise or idea, and it makes sense to them, like, oh, hey, I don't want to walk through the kitchen with the lid off the milk because I might spill it.
Got a mustache hair.
You know, that makes sense. To them, that makes sense. And they say, well, why don't I want to spill it? Because you're going to have to clean it up if you spill it. And do you really want to clean up the entire kitchen if you spill milk? You know, that's not fun because it's time you can't play with your Legos. Okay, it makes sense. Then suddenly the damn kid's walking across the kitchen with the lid on the milk, and it's like, holy shit, we've had a revelation.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in, like, letting them figure it out.
Yes, let them figure it out, but also
watch them fail so that then they can succeed next time they do it. Like
in certain situations.
In certain situations. Like I will watch Lydia do something, and I know that it's just not going to end very well. It's just not going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
But I let her figure it out. I let her just do it, and if she falls or if she trips or if she runs into something, I'm like, okay. She's crying, she has her fit. I'm like, look, it's okay, you're fine. Now, do we know why this happened? It's because of this. Don't do that. This won't happen.
Cause and effect.
It's that simple.
The last thing well, maybe not the last, but something that I do want to point out. In my opinion, no parent should ever use the words "because I said so." Ever. Because if you as a parent don't have a good reason for telling them that, you need to reevaluate what you're doing.
I think that there are instances that you just say that. So if you're trying to get them to do something and there's a reason that you're trying to get them, like I'm trying to get you to clean up your toys. Hey, can you clean up your toys? Well, why? Because it's a mess and we have to step over them to get, in and out of the room. Like I don't want to step on them. Can you please pick them up? You have that whole battle and it's boring. It's like, well,
sorry.
Tough shit, kid. Pick them up.
Right, and that's not because I said so.
No, but there are points where it's like I'm trying to think of like
Let me add context quick.
the examples. Like there's stuff that just like there isn't really a reason behind it, and you're just like, look, it's just because I said so, just do it.
Let me add context quick. And to your point, that right there, out of frustration from a parent, you're just trying to get it done. You don't feel like explaining yourself. You're the parent. They're the kid. Right there. That's how it usually happens. What I'm saying is have the patience to not do that. Because if your child is worth your time, it's worth explaining to them why you need them to do something. The only time I have ever used because I said so, yes, I have. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. You can decide after I explain this, is when my child is standing in the middle of a damn street and there's a car coming and it's like, hey, I need you to come over here and get out of the street. But I'm riding my bike because I said so.
There's a lot of
when
like,
it's urgency. Like if there's urgency.
yeah, but then there's some times where like you're just like, look, I don't feel like explaining it. Just listen to me when I tell you to do something and just do it. Like I don't feel like explaining it to you. I've explained this to you 1,000 times. I'm not explaining it again. Just do it, please.
I'm not saying there shouldn't be respect for parental authority.
Put some respect on it.
I'm just saying that you're going to get a lot further with your kid in the long run
Well, yes.
if you avoid it. Because I, as a teenager, when I get 17, I got because I said so. I was like, because you said what? Fuck off. That did not end well. So
we do like, try to explain, and like obviously there are two different parenting styles, and naturally there's gonna be between dad and mom. We do benefit from that too, because there are some things that I will try to get her to do that she just fights me tooth and nail on. But then Alicia comes in and says, hey, I'll do this. I will tell you how to do it. Let's just do it. And then she'll actually do it. And then vice versa, where there's things where, Alicia tries to get her to do something and she's like, I am going to lose my mind here. And I'm just like, just wait. And then I'll get her, and then she does it. And I'm like, cool, we got there. Awesome. So like we have that benefit. But finding that balance is definitely very key. And the other balance of that is when you're caring for your kid. There are people that are there for their kid when they need them, but there are also people that are there too much, and they're called helicopter parents. And those are what we call the worst kind. Because they are the people that will come to you at whatever thing that you're at for the kids, and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I had to do this, and I had to do this, and I had to do this, and they just wouldn't leave me alone, and they kept asking this, and they wanted this, and oh my God, I'm just so drained. And you're just like, okay.
You're a fucking parent.
Like,
come on.
I get it, but I've watched how you are with your kid, where you wait on them hand and foot. Of course they're going to be like that.
Kids are exhausting.
They are. There are some times.
Done and dusted. It is what it is.
There are some times where I get home from work, I'm cooking dinner, and we eat, and I'm like, all right, cool. I get to just relax. Yes, I do.
You talking about like what, Lipton noodles? I mean,
whatever we're making.
Lipton noodles.
And I've heard Daddy about 1,700 times.
Daddy.
And in my brain, I'm just like, if I hear Daddy one more time, I'm going to put my head in the oven.
Unless it's your wife that's saying it.
No, that's weird. And, like, yes, that is exhausting. But when you just wait on them hand and foot, you're just going to make that much worse.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know that when they come to you, they're going to get anything they ask for.
Autonomy is a big thing for kids.
Just be like, look, I'll get it to you in a minute. Let's like go in the living room, play with your toys. I'll bring it into you in a minute. If they ask for a drink, I will finish doing what I need to do in the kitchen. I will go into the living room, and I will wait for her to ask me for the drink again. Then I will go get her the drink. Or I will take her the drink. Depends on if I remember or not. But
Also, make your punishments meaningful.
yes.
Timeouts are great. Timeouts are very good for young children. But as they get older, there has to be context and consequence.
You have to explain why they were punished.
Right. For example, attitude the past couple days. Not good. Not good. This morning, as a result of attitude, 7:30 a.m., Reveille plays on the JBL Flip 5. Not in her room, but she woke up. On the way to breakfast, the Marine hymn, singing every word. Very structured, very regimented. Very much like, okay, we're going to do this now. We're going to do this now. We're going to do this now. Get to breakfast. Did you enjoy this morning and the way it went? No. If you have a better attitude, I don't have to be this regimented because this morning things got done correctly and efficiently. We can do that without all of the theatrics. But I need you to, be in a good attitude to make that happen. Do you think we can do that? Yeah, I think so. Since then, gold. Pure gold.
Yeah, there was an instance.
I do like the Marine hymn, though.
I forget exactly what it was, but she did something where it was just like, that's not how we're gonna play this. Oh, she came inside and she threw her toys just straight across the kitchen. Just came in and just threw them from one end of the kitchen to the other. No. So I said, all right, you go stand in the corner. I will let you know when you're done. Because I've told her... Okay, Andy, we don't need that. You're going to get us... So... I told her, I said, go stand in the corner, because I've told her countless times to not throw her toys. I'm very big on that. So this was like cherry on top there. So I was like, all right, go stand in the corner. I will tell you when you're done. Of course, she's bawling, and she goes and stands in the corner, and we sit on the couch, and we are, watching TV, not giving her any attention, just carrying on. And my time was 5 minutes. I was like, you need to look at that wall for 5 minutes, and then after the 5 minutes is done, I will tell you to come here. I didn't tell her that because I didn't want her to know that.
Pause real quick. If you have a small child who is throwing a tantrum, do not strap them into a car seat sitting in a room. It's not safe. I have not done it. I know somebody who did, and it did not turn out well. Please don't do it. Continue.
So, she's bawling, she's turning back, and, she's trying to speak to me about something, and I said, no. I said, I don't want to hear it. Turn around. I will let you know when you're done. The 5 minutes are up. I tell her, I say, come here. And she comes over, and she's, she's pretty much gotten over the crying. She's still sniffling and a little bit, and I come over. I said, now, do you know why I gave you a timeout and I put you in the corner? No. I'm like, what did you do when you walked in from being outside? And she goes, I threw my toys. And I'm like, what do I tell you all the time not to do? Throw my toys. Now I'm going to ask you again. Do you know why I put you in the corner? Because I threw my toys. Now if you take that and you don't throw your toys, I won't have to give you a timeout. But if you continue to throw your toys, I'm going to have to, put you in the corner, or I'm going to have to start taking things. I'll take the iPad away. I will take toys away, and we'll have to, do that. I said, do you want that? No. Then don't throw your toys. And then, let her go play, do whatever she was going to do. Very important. Give the punishment. Let them feel the punishment. When the punishment is over, bring them. Don't yell at them. Don't be stern. Talk to them just very calmly. Just, look, this is why. Do you understand? Yes? And, if you want to give them a little hug or something, go ahead. But
Well, and to that point with the hug, I think the one thing that's important as a parent is that regardless of what consequence you are enforcing or discipline that you're trying to provide, it is key to not withhold love from your child, regardless of how angry you are, regardless of what they did wrong. I don't care if they literally murdered somebody. You still need to provide them with affection and love so they understand that you are there and that you're not leaving, because it's very easy to damage that in a young mind.
100%. Yeah. That's a very big thing is, just giving that, whenever Lydia is very blessed, I would say, I guess, of, living the life that she gets to live and have all the people that she has in her life. That
Dude, if I was in a 7-bedroom house this big, I'd be...
7 bedroom.
I don't know why he's laughing. I just came up this long-ass driveway.
Open the gates to my mansion.
Dude, there's a huge paver walkway out front. It's got like these ornate curves in it.
I do not have that. I have a very normal house.
So
It is
over
not
the
7
top.
bedrooms. There's a reason we are in a basement.
Yeah, your wife won't let us anywhere else.
I forgot we put our butler up in the spare room. So
Jenkins is up in the spare room?
Jenkins is now up in the spare. We have our butler in that room. We have our maid in the other room. We have our gardener in the other room, and we have our general contractor. He stays here too.
The fuck is this, Clue? It's Colonel Mustard and Professor Plum. Jesus. Was Jenkins the butler in the study with the lead pipe? Nope, you're wrong. You're out.
She has a lot of people that care for her and support her. And dude,
A lot.
To put it into perspective, she had her first dance recital. Okay, we were at the dance studio buying the tickets.
Nope. Don't want
Okay.
to talk about this at all. You can kiss my ass.
The other parents and
Where was
stuff,
my invite?
they were there. We'll
Where's
talk.
my
We'll
invite?
talk, we'll talk about that.
I didn't get to see it. I got
So-
a video, and it was adorable.
So, we were asking like a few other people, like, "Oh, how many tickets are you getting?" They're like, "Oh, like 5. Oh, 3." We bought 18. We had 2 whole rows of
you
the
bought 18 freaking
auditorium.
tickets, and I couldn't get a single one up. Oh,
We had her grandparents, her parents, my brothers and sisters. Dude, it was
I mean, that dance studio loves you all.
insane. Like, I felt like bad when
Did they give you volume pricing?
They should have. But we were like, yeah, we'll take 18 tickets. And she's like, the lady looked at us and she's like, okay, like, and she was looking at like the rows and she's like, do you just want these 2 rows?
Hold the heck on. Were any of those tickets complimentary?
No,
That's bullshit.
I think that the parents should have got in for free.
But yeah, they should include 2 tickets. Yeah, that's no.
Yeah.
You ain't making money off my kid performing after you just taught my kid. No,
yeah,
screw you.
there was it was great.
Oh God.
100%.
Here we go.
But
Was that at Red Lion?
no, Dallastown.
Thank God.
So she has a huge support system, many people around her that love her, even though all of them weren't at the recital, when she interacts with you, she's very comfortable with you now. she comes and gives you a hug now when you're going to leave.
Oh, she'll just run up and give me a hug whenever. She'll ask me for drinks.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very comfortable with you now. She's comfortable with the neighbors.
I mean, she was timid when I was coming over to finish this damn basement.
Yeah.
Because that was like once every, 2 months? Like, oh, we got work to do. Okay, let's do work.
No,
Oh,
we
look,
were
done.
we got it done pretty quickly, but that's beside the point.
Damn drywall.
Being a parent is definitely not as hard as people make it out to be, but
And much harder.
It does get harder when you have to actually be a parent. You have to influence. You have to give them advice about things. You have to approach other parents about maybe situations that your kids were in or something that happened. That's the hard part about being a parent.
That lady will never talk to me again.
That's the
promise
hard.
you.
That is the hard part about being a parent.
But also,
100%.
It gets worse. I mean,
I'm well aware.
I have a friend of mine who was just in court for their child. God, I could only imagine.
For something bad, or
Oh, it was truancy, but I mean that's bad enough.
that's a weird thing for being in court with your kid for truancy.
Not going to school,
Oh, that's definitely
skipping too many.
that's
What
definitely
did
not, that's definitely not what I thought truancy was.
I think we have a dictionary problem.
That's definitely not what I thought truancy was.